Hello. Me and my brother are getting ready for the trip right now. We're putting all our gear together. We're leaving tomorrow from this way.
What's up, Steve-O?
His dirty shovel.
Dirty shovel.
I don't want it in the shot. This is just some fire starter, first aid kit, duct tape, sleeping pad, food compass, just knickknacks like that. Some waterproof bandages. Knife. This one's for like wood. That one is for like if I get caught in something. I don't know. A bear. A camera. Photography camera. This is the bag for my video camera. Oh, I just stepped on the band-aids. Okay.
Oh no.
Camping
all
stove.
The survival gear right here. This is the camping stove?
This is not all the stuff. Yeah, this is camping stove.
What? That's crazy.
Knuckle bandages. And this is the bag I'm taking. And that is just some of the stuff. That's my kitty. She's running away.
Steve-O.
Okay. It is the... Okay. It is December 17th. It's like 3 a.m. or something. And it's the morning of the trip. That is Zachary, my brother.
Yes, sir.
And where's Abigail? That's Abby, his girlfriend. New addition. Last minute, but it's okay. Okay. My camera bag. That's all zipped up. Here's my backpack. And we have more stuff in the car. And that is NORAD.
NORAD the kitty cat.
Oh.
Gonna make it big, buddy.
What's the plan for Bigfoot, Hebar?
We're gonna kill him.
Grab the bait.
Oh yeah, we have Bigfoot food. 2-year-old expired cat food. Can you even read that? Yeah. That's coming. That's like almost 3 years.
Do you think that's the best thing to bait him with?
Yeah.
Yes. Very fishy.
Because this one's tuna with chicken, and we have like 5 of them. We just got yummy food. I have trash.
We got some great quick trips eats. Show them where we got it from.
Quick trip!
Quick trip! Quick trip! Quick trip!
Say hi.
Hi. Dr. Pepper close up.
Wait, I can zoom in really close.
Bigfoot Dr. Pepper.
Dude, Bigfoot is gonna love Dr. Pepper.
I'll sacrifice
Quick
myself.
Trip does not sponsor us, but this is the best gas
I
station.
have a monster. Yes, I don't know. Hey. I'm filming.
There's snow on the ground.
It is beautiful out
Temp
up
in our
here up
area.
north.
Show them the
And-
scenery, Hebar.
I am.
This looks... Oh, come on, Zachary!
Oh, I claimed him.
I don't have spare change.
I just saw Bigfoot in the bathroom.
So, this is me during editing, and I'm just going to give you all more information about the whole trip and, what the plan actually was. I'm not entirely sure as to where my interest in Bigfoot came from. I'm pretty sure it was when I was brainstorming an idea for a senior project that wouldn't bore me to death, and I thought it would be fun to go Bigfoot hunting. But, regardless of how I came up with the idea, as, I researched more and more, I learned that Bigfoot is a huge topic, much wider than, most people think. A lot of people think, oh, a Sasquatch in the woods. Starting with the actual scientific side of Sasquatchery, I guess, the only real and non-crazy conspiratorial shred of evidence, in my opinion, is the existence of the Gigantopithecus. The Gigantopithecus was a humongous old ancestor of modern-day orangutans and lived in what is now modern-day China. The most common species of Gigantopithecus was the Gigantopithecus blackie, and based off fossil evidence, it is speculated that they grew up to 3 meters in height or just about 10 feet tall. They are believed to have gone extinct from between 295,000 years ago and 215,000 years ago. Now, a lot of people believe that early humans who lived in China during this time witnessed this ancient creature and began telling stories about it through oral tradition and art. And these people also believe that both the early humans and their traditions migrated down through the Bering Strait into what is now North America, settling down and developing new traditions and cultures, eventually forming what are now the indigenous nations of North America. This is a lot of people's explanation as to why many tribes in North America have legends and stories of very large, nearly human, ape-like creatures roaming the land. And this theory, sounds pretty good on the surface, but the huge glaring problem with it is that humans did not arrive in China until about 45,000 years ago, roughly 200,000 years after the Gigantopithecus is believed to have gone extinct. Now, there's still a chance that humans, could have interacted with the ancient primate or stumbled across fossil remains of the creature and formed their own stories about them, but I find that really unlikely. And, that's not to say that's the only scientific, quote-unquote, piece of evidence that there is to support the existence of a Sasquatch, but it is definitely the most common you hear, and it is definitely not enough. But, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't bring to light any and all captivating theories about Bigfoot. And like I mentioned briefly earlier, the legend of Bigfoot has deep roots in northern North. Now, like I mentioned briefly earlier, the legend of Bigfoot has deep roots in northern North America and the legends of the people who have lived and continue to live here. For my project, I wanted to focus more on the legends relevant to me and my project, so I mostly looked into legends from northern Minnesotan groups, and just the amount of stuff I found was kind of shocking. For this project, if I were to bring up every, story and legend of Bigfoot, this video would be 7-8 hours long. The Anishinaabe is the name for a group of indigenous peoples that live in the Great Lakes region of modern-day America and Canada. The group is made up of the Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi people. The Anishinaabe all share a common language, which is Ojibwe, and they also share very similar beliefs when it comes to things like mythology and tradition. And one thing that the Anishinaabe have preserved throughout the ages is the tradition of the 7 grandfather teachings. Now, the 7 grandfather teachings is a guide of 7 principles as to how to live a good life, each virtue being represented by a different animal of importance to the Anishinaabe people. Things like the bear represents courage, the turtle, truth, the wolf, humility, the bison represents respect, the beaver, wisdom, the eagle, love, and finally, the sabe represents honesty. When I first stumbled across that, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. What the hell is a sabe? What is that? Well, the sabe is traditionally described as an exceptionally large and hairy human-like creature that walks on 2 feet in the forest. The symbol of this creature is a large footprint, which is pretty on the nose if you're talking about Bigfoot. I had a conversation with a member of the Red Lake Reservation in Upper Bemidji, which I will get into more about later, but he told me that the sabe is more so of a powerful nature spirit and that it can pretty much shapeshift into anything it wants. But the traditional form, and he used the word honest, the honest form for the sabe is how it's described. Large, hairy, man-like creature. The legend of the sabe and the 7 grandfather teachings dates back as far as the Anishinaabe do. And the existence of the sabe, to me at least, holds the most weight out of any other Sasquatch theory, as the Anishinaabe have been living on this land for over 16,000 years. And for a group of people to have lived somewhere for so long and yet still be very adamant on the existence of this creature with many sightings even within the past 10 years. Like, who am I to say no? And, well, I do think this is the most important legend or theory or whatever you want to call it about Sasquatch. The next one I'm going to bring up is, in my opinion, maybe the most captivating. Now, the story of Abel and Cain is not a new one. Two brothers, Cain being a farmer and the elder of the two, and Abel being a young shepherd. These boys were said to be the two sons of Adam and Eve and would constantly bring offerings/sacrifices to God, Cain bringing the most bountiful heaps from his harvest, and Abel bringing the plumpest and most beautiful of his lambs. One day when the boys brought their sacrifices to God, Abel had brought a young lamb that was beyond perfect and just pristine in every way possible. This angered Cain, whose sacrifice was much more pitiful than his younger brothers, as he had had a bad harvest that year. So, sometime later, while Abel was tending to his sheep, Cain came up behind him with a rock and struck him on the head, killing him. God then cursed Cain and banished him to roam the earth forever with the guilt of his slain brother. Now, this is a story I'm sure many people know, but what I'm also sure many people don't know is that the Mormons have a continuation of this story. You know, Mormons, Church of Latter-day Saints. The story states that a man was riding through the dark on his horse. It was late at night, it was dark in the woods, and the man had no care other than getting some food in his belly and getting some sleep in a warm bed. You know, as his mind was wandering, he began to hear footsteps coming up to the side of his now pretty spooked horse. And as the horse walked along and the footsteps grew louder, a figure came into view. The large, hairy thing walked on two legs, keeping up with the horse with ease, and was eye to eye with the man who was sitting straight up on his horse. The creature looked mostly human, but something about his face was not quite right. Instead of fleeing in fear, the man felt a sense of pity and melancholy for the creature. Then it spoke. It told the man that it was Cain, brother and slayer of Abel, and that he had been cursed by God to wander the world like this, not only emotionally carrying the guilt of his sin, but also physically, as God had turned him into an abomination as another form of punishment. The man was bewildered by this. I mean, was he really speaking to the Cain, from the Bible? But before he could ask the creature anything, this supposed Cain veered away into the dense trees, moving almost silently as it completely effortlessly crossed the land with its immense size. And the man just rode on. Well, I don't personally believe this story at all because I'm not Mormon. I really like it. I thought it was pretty cool. It was a fun little spin on the idea of Bigfoot. It was just kind of really entertaining. And there are just so many more stories, legends, and myths about the elusive Sasquatch. And like I said, for me to, compile them all here, this video would be ridiculously long, and I have a 40-minute window. So, for the sake of time, enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll be back at the end.
We are very close to our spot now.
Like 25 miles.
25 miles. We got Hebar driving. Look at that road, man.
There's no
Straight ice. Look at that. Looks like we're in the Arctic or something.
I wouldn't be surprised if a White Walker came out and asked for money.
Seriously.
ask for some money.
Yeah, no. This is great. We got
the next bus is.
car full. Look, I just cleaned that back window. You can't even see out it now.
Yeah.
Gonna have. Good thing I brought the ice scraper. Look at that view, man. Looks like Santa Claus is in town, dude. Yeah, if we're gonna find Bigfoot, it'll be here. It'll be here for sure. Or a Wendigo.
That's where they originated from.
Minnesota?
Minnesota, northern Minnesota.
Oh, well, that's f***ing awesome. Oops. I swore.
Yep. Dense.
It's Bigfoot.
Bigfoot season, baby.
And then woods on this side of us. With just a snow ahead. Oh, and Zach's awake now.
Zach is awake. He recorded earlier.
Oh.
Look at me. Look at him in the rear view. He's just grinning.
Alright, well, should we do this when we get to our campsite?
No, we should just keep filming now. So we pull into our campsite. Camera rolling. Snow is scary.
Okay, it looks like people just pulled right in here.
It's probably where that truck was from.
Here we are. So did we just drive till we find a place?
We're just gonna park
Oh,
wherever.
we're camping right here?
We're camping in the car. Well, we made it!
Well,
I'm gonna go stand outside.
just get in the car.
Oh no, I'm wearing Crocs. Uh-oh.
Fine, I'll move. You just cross over.
Nah, that's cool.
Are you sure? I have boots.
Oh. Actually, yeah, you do that.
Oh.
Here, I'm gonna pull the car that way.
Oh my god, you almost hit my head. Hey, I'm recording.
Good. Show that to your school.
I don't think I will. You know how funny it'd be if Bigfoot. Oh, I just swore so hard.
Oh, you get up.
Well, let me put the sticks in front. Back up a little bit.
I can't back up, Abby.
Go back to how you just were.
Bro, there's no traction.
All right. All
No,
right.
get
All
out.
right.
Oh my gosh.
Go.
That's.
Go.
You're almost there.
Where is she?
I don't know. She's right behind the car.
Abby, just get out the way, dude.
I'm
Hey.
Okay, we made it. We're all parked up. Abby can't get her shoe on.
Stop. Out in the wilderness.
Oh my god.
What?
I'm filming. You know how messed up it would be if I just dropped my camera in the fire?
Alright, we should make a teepee over it now, probably.
That's what I just did. We just got the fire set up.
Oh, dude, my sports bra came out and just fell out.
Great.
No, it's very uncomfortable.
No, yeah, I got that on camera.
Oh, you're welcome.
And we're gonna cook toast and sardines. That sounds yummy.
Okay, let me grab the pan over here real quick.
No, get it out of my pan. Hey. He is a Sasquatch. He's a Sam Squanch.
The smoke. Is that Bigfoot?
Who's my brother?
Oh my god, I thought that was Bigfoot for a second.
Looks like Bigfoot. You threw an axe at
Oh
us.
my god, that big.
That kind of. That caused. And the Sabe, like I said, stands for honesty. Only someone who is honest would see one and be telling the truth about seeing one. We are making Chef Boyardee ravioli.
Beef ravioli, son.
Some beef ravioli, son. It looks like we killed someone.
Abby, what are you doing? Is it good to eat?
Yeah, dig in.
Do not spill a single ravioli.
This looks really cool on camera.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it was a successful setup of camp. We got here at what, 11?
Yep.
It is now 5:30. Tomorrow, we're gonna go out and hunt Bigfoot. We have Bigfoot food. just expired cat food. And and we have a cat piano to play him a song.
I encourage everyone
Dig
who's
it.
watching Keith Barr's project to look up the book.
No, don't search that up. Don't search that up.
It's erotica literature.
Oh. Okay. Well, guys, don't search that up. But
It's a whole series.
Point it up at the sky.
wow.
Wow.
Well, we're in the center of the state forest, so we are literally probably 5 to 10 miles away from
Anything.
anything. It's kind of cool.
Okay, so as I'm about to mention in the video, we decided to cut the trip short. The car was not only having issues with the cold, but so were we. Even though we packed more than enough gear to get through the absolutely frigid nights, the temperature on the first night dropped extremely low. Much lower than all of the apps, websites, news stations had been reporting. It was one of the most miserable nights of my life. It was so unbelievably cold, absolutely horrible. So we decided to leave the next morning. Which is unfortunate, as I really wanted to have more time up there in some of the most beautiful nature I've ever been in. I mean, the camera does not do the serenity of it all any justice. So as you'll see, once I finished filming at the campsite, we left, and I did not bring out my camera at all after we left. I was just so tired and honestly pretty upset at how we were cutting the trip short, so I just wanted to be completely done with the whole thing. So we finished packing up the car and began our trip back down home. You know, we stopped for food here and there. We're taking turns driving, all was fine. So we were driving and arrived in Bemidji at around 3:30, and as we were going down the highway, the service battery light came on. This was pretty concerning, as we had been worried about the car, so we began to look for somewhere to pull over and check out the car. But as we were doing so, the car completely stopped working. We had just barely enough momentum to roll into a Culver's parking lot and put the car in one of the spaces. Literally, worst case scenario, our car just stopped working. My brother and I called Triple a while. We wait inside the Culvers for hours and hours and hours. They didn't show up that night, and we waited for 7 hours, which is kind of ridiculous. Once the Culvers closed, we got a taxi to a hotel, and my brother called AAA to arrange for someone to be there at the parking lot at 8 a.m. the next morning. At this point, I am not having a good time. I mean, the trip went horribly and got canceled. My brother's car is dead because of this trip, and we just spent the last 8 hours sitting in a Culver's. It was nice to sleep in a warm bed, though, I will say that. So the next day we wake up at about 7 and call another taxi. We get in, and I'm sitting up front next to the driver, and since it's about a 20-minute ride, we get to talking. He tells us that he is a member of the nearby Red Lake Reservation. I told him where I'm from and what I am up here doing so far from home. I tell him that I was going on a camping trip with the intent of learning and finding more about Bigfoot. He chuckled and told me that I'd never find Bigfoot, that Bigfoot was a very powerful spirit, and that if he didn't want to be seen, he won't be. He told me that this Bigfoot spirit could shapeshift into anything that he wanted, even a tree if he felt like it, as to not be seen. He also told us that our car troubles were a direct result of the spirit, and that maybe we had pissed it off by coming all the way to its home to look for it. Or maybe he didn't want us to leave and go back home. The colder months can be quite lonely, you know. He talked about Bigfoot like it was just a fact of life, like it was as normal to him as paying taxes or filling up his tank with gas. He also talked briefly about how when the Sabi takes interest in someone, that many coincidences will start popping up, which piqued my interest. Eventually we got to the Culvers and he dropped us off, wishing us good luck. When we arrived, AAA was there waiting, and pretty soon we began trying to jump-start the car. We tried probably 5 times, yet to no avail. So without any other option, we piled into the cab of the tow truck and headed on to a mechanic, and the tow truck driver dropped us off, wishing us good luck. The mechanic was already expecting us since we had called them earlier. They said that they will check everything out and fix whatever problem was troubling the car, but since they had no idea what problem it was, they had no idea how long that would be. So we sat around in the lobby for a little bit, drinking coffee and reading magazines or whatever, until I finally wanted to get up and stretch my legs. Across the street in a little field surrounded by woods to the back and right, there was a little antique shop about as big as the lobby we were sitting in. So Abby and I walked over, with the snow halfway up our calves. Once we got in, the cashier looked surprised and told us that we were the first customers of the day, and that she didn't think anyone would come in at all since the snow was starting to pick up. We small talked a little and then started browsing around the store. Immediately after, a woman came in and started talking to the cashier. The woman turned out to be the owner of the store and told the cashier to close up shop once Abby and I were done shopping, as no one had come in before us, and there likely wouldn't be anyone coming in after, and how we had gotten there just in time. What a little coincidence. We both picked out some stuff, and I got an old stuffed Beanie Baby dragon that had caught my eye to give to my girlfriend for Christmas. I didn't check the birthday of the dragon that all Beanie Babies had on the tag, since I forgot that they even had birthdays. A few days later, after I gave it to her, she let me know that the little dragon had the same birthday as me, July 31st. Again, what a weird little coincidence. So Abby and I headed back over to the mechanics, and within 10 minutes of us hanging out in the lobby, the mechanic came out and told us that the car was all set and ready to go. We asked him what was wrong with it, and he said nothing. They had simply just tried to jumpstart it, and boom, it was working like normal. They ran all the tests and absolutely nothing was wrong with it. We told him that we had tried jumpstarting it about 5 times to no avail, and he said that he has no idea what could have caused that. There was literally nothing wrong with the car. That still confuses me today. I mean, I don't know that much about cars, but I have no idea how that could work. Either way, we were excited to be on our way home. However, as soon as we stepped outside, we realized that that wasn't going to happen. The snow had started falling fast and heavy. When I had checked the weather app that morning, there was no indication of snow that day. So we decided to stay one more night at the hotel. I wasn't happy, but hey, whatever, as long as I can go home. The next morning, we woke up and the snow still refused to let up. We went into town and shopped around since Christmas was only a few days away. One little thrift shop had the exact knife I was carrying in my pocket behind a glass case. I mean, it wasn't a super unique knife at all, but still it was kind of funny. We did some other stuff, we had lunch, swam in the pool, and went to sleep. The next morning, we headed out bright and early, all very excited to get home. Honestly, at this point, I had completely forgotten about my project and filming, as it had been such a strange few days. We got to my brother's places and unloaded his stuff, then headed down to Northfield. Now this last thing is still so weird to me even now, weeks after the whole event. When I walked through my front door, I checked my phone and saw that I had gotten back exactly when I had originally intended to get home. Not just the same day, but down to the hour that I planned to when I first started planning my trip. I had cut the trip short by a few days, our car had mysteriously gave up on life, and an out-of-the-blue snowstorm had hit us for 2 days straight, yet here I was, in my house the exact hour that I had planned to be. And that was that. My expedition had come to an end and I couldn't have been happier. All in all, it was a lot of fun, but also maybe one of the strangest few days of my life. But I'm so glad I had Zach and Abby there with me through it. Did I find Bigfoot? I don't know, only Bigfoot knows. Our taxi driver certainly seems to think so, and keeping in mind about what he was saying about how good at I at staying hidden and all the coincidences. Who am I to say what happened? I am just some 18-year-old kid with an old camcorder putting together a school project that I thought would be fun, and I hope you enjoyed it, and if not, you go pound sand as I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm gonna hand it back off to me, but with shorter hair to finish up the video.
We are leaving early because last night was hell on earth, but it was cold. Where'd you even put them?
In the way back. Why? You would need them?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I found them.
Explain to them what happened, Ebar.
Oh, they melted. So, everything was fine and dandy during the day, as you guys saw. But then nighttime came, and I wasn't recording. And it was so cold. It was so cold. It was miserable.
Even with 3 bodies in the
Tears
car.
were shed. There were 3 people in the back of this truck, and we couldn't do it. We had like 5 sleeping bags, we just couldn't do it. So I'm not doing this. I'm going home early. But it's not like I was going to find Bigfoot anyways. Maybe I would have. But
We'll go for a little walk right now.
we'll go for a little walk just to give you guys a view of what could have been. And then we have to drive 8 more hours. Look at these tracks.
Ooh. What could that be? That looks like Hold on, let's look closer at these tracks. That looks like a big hoof.
That's what I'm saying. That looks like a moose.
That's awesome. So there could be moose tracks.
2 days ago.
Yeah, those are definitely moose tracks. Look at how big those hooves are.
Bigfoot. Is Bigfoot out here?
Who
I
knows?
don't know. I wasn't going to figure it out either way. I'm an 18-year-old with a camcorder. But, you know, I kind of like that there's no proof and no actual evidence. Because let's say Bigfoot was discovered and we studied it, slapped it in some zoos. It was in textbooks. That takes away all the fun magic of it.
Yeah, the fun magic of if you actually
wouldn't-
see it, you know?
We wouldn't be out here going on this awesome camping trip if Bigfoot was proven to be real. That's like, hey, you want to go camping and look for a cardinal?
Yeah.
No, I don't. That's stupid.
Because of this, there's all the TV shows and movies.
TV shows, there's a whole culture, there are whole towns that have their economy based on Bigfoot. There's so many pop culture references. There's just so much that has been added to Bigfoot because the legend of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Well, this is just like the very edge of these woods. This way, 15 miles that way, Canada. Then the woods keep going to the
Well,
coast.
Canada's actually that way.
Okay, nerd. In all directions, it's just this for miles.
Just dense, deep forest.
I'm doing this so I can graduate. I don't really care. All right.
All right, cut.